All right, so this week we're going to be talking about chapter 4 of the BABOK guide, and that is elicitation and collaboration. So this is actually our second knowledge area that we're covering. And this is the knowledge area that I believe is probably the most fun because this involves us collaborating with the stakeholders and getting to know different people and participants in the project. So I think this is one of the most exciting parts of business analysis. So, elicitation and collaboration is basically where you're obtaining the information from the stakeholders and actually confirming those results as well. Um, and we're also going to be in communication with stakeholders once the actual business analysis information is assembled. So, elicitation is a little bit different from the common term we use in a practical setting, which is gathering. So, gathering requirements basically implies that we are just collecting information that's provided to us without questioning it or digging anything any further. Whereas elicitation is actually the drawing forth of information from stakeholders where we are asking relevant questions and making the stakeholders think about information in ways that will uncover different needs and things like that. And eliciting requirements is considered to be the main path to discovering requirements in design. It's also likely going to involve talking to the stakeholders directly, researching topics, experimenting, or simply being handed information. And Babok describes collaboration as the act of two or more people working together towards a common goal. So that's the key there, is that you're both working towards a common goal. Now, elicitation is not simply a phase in business analysis. It's actually an ongoing activity that happens as needed and, as new information is needed or discovered. And it can typically be planned or unplanned or some combination of both. And in many cases, things that are unplanned, we may go back and plan an elicitation activity to further explore or investigate the information that we found during the unplanned interaction. Now, elicitation and collaboration has 5 tasks, and that includes prepare for elicitation, conduct elicitation, confirm elicitation results, communicate business analysis information, and manage stakeholder collaboration. Now, preparing for elicitation is a part of a common theme of BABOK, which is you always want to prepare before you act or prepare before you do. So, preparing for elicitation involves making sure that the stakeholders have the information that they need to provide and that they understand what's going to happen in the activities and the overall expectation and outcomes. Conducting the elicitation or conduct elicitation is the work performed to actually understand the needs and identify potential solutions that could potentially solve the needs. So this is where we're actually having those conversations, asking those questions to draw out that information. And confirming elicitation results is what we do to ensure that stakeholders have a shared understanding, basically shared amongst the stakeholders and shared with us on the outcome of the elicitation and that the information was actually recorded appropriately and correctly. A lot of the times, this involves going back to the source information, or it might involve comparing information received from different sources. And then communicate business analysis information is where we're actually communicating that information back to the stakeholders, giving them the information that they need at the right time. And then managing stakeholder collaboration is kind of separate from the other 4 tasks, but this is more of an overall task where we are actually working with the stakeholders to keep them engaged in the overall business analysis approach or business analysis process and um, managing the relationship with them. Here's the core concept model in relation to elicitation and collaboration. We went over this in week 1, so we don't really need to go over it again. And here's a view of the inputs and outputs. So the overall inputs for the elicitation and collaboration knowledge area includes needs, business analysis information, stakeholder engagement approach, business analysis performance assessment, and then we've got our five tasks, and then our outputs include elicitation activity plan, elicitation results, unconfirmed, and then elicitation results confirmed. And then we've got our communicated business analysis and our stakeholder engagement. Now, stakeholder engagement isn't an actual deliverable, it's more like a state of stakeholders being engaged.